know I wrote a book, right? It's called Buy a Game, and it's free. Click the link down there, you got it.
DreAllDay.com.
If you follow me on Snapchat, my Snapchat is at Dre Baldwin. Just last night, I was doing a stream of snaps where I was talking about the situation. I was talking to this guy. You can still see it on Snapchat because it's 24 hours. It's still there. I was talking to this guy who I deemed a loser, and he's a loser because he was indecisive. He knew what he needed to do. He wouldn't do it. He saw opportunity. He wouldn't take it. And I wanted to bring that message to all of you and make sure that y'all understand something when it comes to decision. If any of you ever walked into a business or had somebody walk into your place of business, place you work, or even saw on TV, somebody walk into a room or they call on the phone, they say something like, yo, let me speak to the decision maker here. Let me speak to the person here who makes the decisions. You ever heard somebody say something like that? Any of you ever heard that statement? Somebody say, let me speak to the decision maker here. Let me speak to the person who calls the shots in here. Who are they usually asking for? When somebody says, let me speak to the decision maker, who are they asking for? Who's that person? Business owner, who else? How do you describe the person who makes the decision? The boss, the manager, person in charge, pretty much, right? The person in charge is the person who makes the decision. So think about that. The decision makers in life are the people in charge. They're the owners, they're the supervisors, they're the managers, they're the leaders, they're the captains, they're the ones signing your checks. The person who makes the decisions, which means for all of you, if you plan on being a leader in life, you want to be a boss, you want to be the manager, the supervisor, you want to be the person who signs the checks, you got to make decisions. Decision making equals responsibility. I talked about this on Snapchat, I think, maybe on Twitter. I don't even remember where I talked about it. The more decisions you make, the more responsibility you're taking on. So when you make a decision, you're taking responsibility for that decision. More decisions you make equals more responsibility. More responsibility equals more leadership. And more leadership equals more power. See, everything you take responsibility for, you're in charge of. You're the leader of a project if you decide to take responsibility for it. You're the leader of a group if you're taking responsibility for everybody in that group's well-being. And the more responsibility you take on, the more power you have. Because if you're responsible for something, you have power over that situation. You have power over what happens. You have power over how it happens, where it happens, when it happens. And here's the thing about decision making, it slows some people down. They think, well, I don't want to make a whole bunch of decisions because I don't know what the right decision is. I don't know. I don't have experience. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the expertise. This is what you got to understand about decision making. Just because you're making decisions does not mean that you're making the right decision all the time. Sometimes you're going to make a decision that's wrong. Trust me, it will happen. If it never happened to you before, if you keep making decisions, you will make some wrong decisions in life where you're going to be like, damn, that was the wrong decision to make. What you have to understand is that instinctively, human beings, when we make the wrong decision, what's the immediate thing that we're going to do? If you get on the train and you need to go west and you realize you on the train that's going east, what do? You get off the damn train and you get on the train that's going the direction that you need to go. So when we know that we have made the wrong decision, no, not cover up. You fix it. No, don't cover it up. That's wrong. Don't cover it up. When you know you made the wrong decision, you fix it. Your instinct will tell you, okay, that's the wrong decision. Let me make the right decision. If you make the decision to put your hand on the stove and it gets hot, your hand starts burning, you realize that's the wrong decision. What's the first thing you do? You take your hand off the damn stove. You immediately change the decision that you made and do the right thing. So understand that decision making is not the same as being right all the time. See, the only person who's right all the time is the person who waits until everything's done and then they tell you what already happened. See, that's the follower. You don't want to be the follower. You don't want to be the observer, the person watching everything happening. You want to be the person making things happen. The person who makes things happen is a decision maker. Because if you ain't making the decisions, you ain't making nothing happen. You are subject to the decisions of the person who is making things happen. So what you have to understand is that here's the other thing, the flip side of this. Napoleon Hill, I mention him all the time because he wrote some great books, Think and Grow Rich, The Law of Success, which is one of my favorite books, and Outwitting the Devil, which I read recently. When he talks about the things that cause human beings to fail, the number one thing that causes human beings to fail in life is having no purpose. They don't know where they're going. They don't know what they're doing. They have no direction in their lives. Number two, fear. Being afraid of outcomes, being afraid of success, being afraid of failure, being afraid of other people, being afraid of not being adequate, being afraid of things not working out. Because when people are fearful, see, when people have no goals, they get fearful because they have no idea what's happening next. And they have no mind control over their state or where they're going or what they're doing or why they're doing it, because they have no goals. And when people are fearful and they have no goals, guess what? When you're fearful, how many decisions do you make? How decisive are you when you're fearful? How many people can be decisive when they're fearful? You can't make decisions when you're fearful because you're afraid of everything, because you know whatever decision you make is going to lead to some outcome that you don't want. See, fearful people don't make decisions. See, everything leads into everything else. When you have no goals, you're going to be afraid because you have no idea where you're going. So the wind is just blowing you wherever it wants to blow you. And when you are afraid of things, you won't make decisions because you're not in the state of mind to say, all right, this is what we're doing, this is how it's going to go, and if it's wrong, I'm going to fix it. You got to put yourself in a state, number one, of making decisions. You're taking on responsibility. That leads to leadership, it leads to power. And when you have leadership, power, and responsibility, you can't be fearful because people are following you. They're going to do whatever they see you doing. And when you have goals, when you have responsibilities, when you have that leadership, when you have that power, now you have a definiteness of purpose. You know where you're going, you know why you're going there, you know what you're going to do when you get there, and you have a reason for doing it. You have a reason for everything. So understand that decisiveness, ladies and gentlemen, is a major key to success. If you want to be successful in life, here's one thing you can start doing today. Start making decisions. I don't care how little influence you have over other people. I don't care how low on the totem pole you might be in your team or your business, your organization. Start making decisions. And the first person you start making decisions for is yourself. You don't have to have authority over other people to be a decisive person. When you start making decisions on your own, you know what's going to happen. Other people are going to start following you because they see your decisiveness. Because most people are indecisive. Most people can't decide what to do. See, this thing I just said on Snapchat before I came on here. I have more respect. It went down for a second. Are we good on the connection? So I was just talking about decision. For those of you who just catching this part, you didn't catch the first part. Catch the first part. Here's the thing. When I'm presenting something to somebody, and they got an option on what they want to do. They can say yes, they can say no. I respect the yes. Of course, we all want a yes, right? We all want to know. We all want to know also, too. You can get no's because you're in sales, you know, the more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. And everything we do is sales. But I respect somebody who tells me no more than I respect somebody who says, I don't know. Tell me yes, tell me no. Think yes, think no. Act yes, act no. But don't act, I don't know. So you can't act, I don't know. That's indecision. See, when you don't know anything, you can't make a decision. You can't take action. The most successful person you know probably takes the most action. The most successful person you know probably makes the most decisions. The most successful person you know probably has the most confidence. The most successful person you know is the person making the decisions wherever you at. So when you consider all that, here's a question that you got to ask yourself. How many decisions am I making? How much power am I choosing to take? See, power is not something that's handed to you. Power is something that's taken. Y'all understand that, right? You can't receive power. Somebody can't gift power to you. You have to take power. Power is something that is taken. Power is not something that is handed out. Freedom is taken. Freedom is not handed out. You must take it. You must go after it. You must, first of all, know you want it. Second of all, have a good reason to want it, because it's not going to be easy. Third of all, you got to take action on it. And fourth, once you got it, you must do what you got to do to keep it, enhance it, build on it, whatever you want to call it. So the point is this. I don't know is not respected. No is respected. Yes is respected. I don't know is not respected. You got to become a person of decision. Figure out what it is you want. Everything that is presented to you, you weigh it against what that want is. You weigh it against what that desired outcome is and take action. Because decisiveness, action, and confidence all lead to success. These are facts. And if you don't believe me or you're not sure, think about the most decisive, action-oriented, and confident people you know. They're probably all the same person. And it's probably the most successful person you know. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Hit me on Snapchat at Dre Baldwin, Instagram at Dre Baldwin, Twitter at Dre All Day, and my website, dreallday.com. Work on your fucking man. Make sure you follow me on social media, Snapchat. You see it right there. The code's going to come up. Dre Baldwin. My Instagram is the same name, at Dre Baldwin. My Twitter and my Periscope, both at Dre All Day. Y'all know my website, dreallday.com. Any business inquiries, hit me via email, dre@dreallday.com, or you can just send me a snap. Work on your game. Dre All Day.